There's a peculiar paradox in achieving everything you've ever wanted, yet still feeling an inexplicable void within. The uncomfortable truth is that most people spend their entire lives running from themselves, building castles of external success, while their inner fortress silently crumbles. But what if I told you that your greatest demons aren't your enemies at all, but disguised teachers? In the depths of Jung's analytical psychology and Rumi's mystical wisdom, we find an extraordinary invitation to a journey of self-discovery. These masters, separated by centuries, yet united in their profound understanding of the human soul, show us that every aspect of our psyche, even those we fear, carries within it a seed of transformation and growth. It is through the conscious encounter with these parts of ourselves that we discover our true essence. What you're about to explore is an ancient journey of self-knowledge, grounded in both mystical wisdom and the discoveries of depth psychology. It's a path that has the power to reveal hidden treasures within your own consciousness, transforming every challenge into an opportunity for expansion and every shadow into a source of light. As Rumi poetically reminds us, what you seek is seeking you, and this quest begins in the sacred territory of your own soul. Topic 1. The encounter with the shadow. Deep within our psyche lies a mysterious force that Jung called the shadow, that part of ourselves we prefer to ignore, hide, and even deny its existence. It's fascinating how each human being carries within themselves an entire universe of thoughts, emotions, and impulses that we often keep locked away in a mental basement, as if ignoring them would make them disappear. But like a pressure cooker without a release valve, the more we repress these aspects, the more power they gain in the shadows of our consciousness. Picture yourself in a dark room, where every corner conceals a truth about yourself that you fear confronting. These might be deep insecurities, paralyzing fears, or even desires you deem inappropriate. The shadow isn't necessarily negative. It also harbors undeveloped talents, unexplored potential, and strength we haven't yet recognized. Like a treasure buried in an abandoned field, our shadow aspects hold unexplored riches that, once discovered, can completely transform our journey of self-discovery. The first step in dealing with our shadow is acknowledging its existence and stopping our flight from it. It's like that moment when you finally decide to organize that cluttered closet you've been avoiding for months. Initially intimidating, but as you begin sorting through the drawers, you discover valuable items you had forgotten. Techniques such as reflective writing, contemplative meditation, and Jungian therapy are powerful tools in this process. For instance, keeping a journal where you record your dreams and reflections without judgment, or practicing Jung's active imagination technique, where you dialogue with different aspects of your psyche. Topic 2. The soul's mirror, recognizing self-destructive patterns. Just as a mirror reveals our physical image, our daily behaviors reflect the patterns that govern our inner life. It's remarkable how often we repeat the same mistakes, fall into the same emotional traps, and find ourselves in situations that feel strangely familiar. As Rumi wisely said, what you seek is seeking you. Our self-destructive patterns are not coincidences, but rather manifestations of unresolved internal conflicts calling for our attention. Observe, for instance, how we react when things don't go as planned. Some explode in anger, others withdraw into silence, and there are those who immediately blame themselves. These response patterns are like ancient scripts we follow automatically, often inherited from past experiences or unprocessed trauma. To begin changing them, we can adopt practices such as keeping an emotional trigger journal, where we document situations that destabilize us, identifying the thoughts and emotions that arise in these moments. Transformation begins when we develop the ability to observe these patterns without completely identifying with them. It's like watching a film where you are simultaneously the protagonist and the spectator. Mindfulness techniques can be particularly useful in this process, starting with just 5 minutes daily of conscious observation of our thoughts and emotions. Books like Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now and Clarissa Pinkola Estes' Women Who Run with the Wolves offer valuable insights into identifying and transforming limiting patterns. Topic 3. The Inner Warrior, Developing Psychic Strength. On the path of self-knowledge, developing psychic strength is as essential as an ancient warrior sharpening their sword. This strength doesn't manifest through suppressing emotions or building emotional walls, but through the ability to remain present and conscious even when facing our greatest internal storms. As Jung emphasized, it's in the union of opposites, strength and vulnerability, courage and fear, that we find our true power. Developing this inner strength is similar to training a muscle. It requires consistent practice and gradual exposure to challenges. We begin with small acts of daily courage, like expressing a divergent opinion in a meeting, establishing healthy boundaries in relationships, or tackling a task we've been procrastinating on. Prayer, in its deepest essence, serves as a fundamental pillar in this journey. Dedicating daily time to spiritual connection through sincere prayer not only strengthens our emotional resilience, but also connects us with an inexhaustible source of wisdom and inner strength. True psychic strength manifests in our ability to integrate our different facets, including those we consider contradictory. It's like a conductor harmonizing different instruments in an orchestra. The regular practice of contemplative prayer, where we allow ourselves an intimate dialogue with the divine, can be transformative. For example, set aside specific moments of the day for a sincere conversation with God, expressing not only gratitude and requests, but also your doubts, fears, and deepest aspirations. This act of surrender and trust strengthens our ability to face challenges with serenity and purpose. Topic 4. Emotional Alchemy, Transforming Pain into Wisdom. The process of inner transformation resembles the ancient art of alchemy, where lead is transformed into gold. Similarly, our most painful experiences carry the potential to become our greatest source of wisdom and strength. As Rumi poetically expressed, "The wound is where the light enters you." This transformation doesn't happen automatically. It requires conscious work of recognition, acceptance, and transmutation of our deepest pains. Each moment of pain or challenge in our life can be seen as an alchemical crucible, a sacred vessel where transformation occurs. For instance, romantic rejection can become a portal to self-knowledge and self-love. Professional failure can be the catalyst for discovering your true purpose. The secret lies in not resisting pain, but learning to dance with it, as Jung suggested. This dance begins with the practice of the transmutation journal, where we record not only painful events, but also the lessons and growth that emerge from them. The emotional alchemical process requires patience and self-compassion. It's like cultivating a garden in arid soil. First, we must prepare the earth, plant the seeds, and nurture constantly before seeing the flowers bloom. Spiritual masters like Saint John of the Cross spoke about the dark night of the soul, those moments of profound transformation where we seem lost in darkness. However, it's precisely in these moments that the deepest work of transmutation is happening, like the cocoon that must completely dissolve for the butterfly to emerge. Topic 5. The Sacred Dance, Integrating Spirituality and Self-Awareness. In the journey of inner transformation, we reach a point where we realize that our personal battle is, in fact, a sacred dance with the divine. As Jung observed in his own life, the process of individuation, of truly becoming oneself, is inseparable from spiritual experience. This dance with the sacred isn't something distant or abstract, but a living experience that permeates every aspect of our existence, from our moments of contemplation to our most mundane interactions. The integration between spirituality and self-awareness manifests in surprising ways in our daily lives. It's that moment of clarity during sincere prayer, the sensation of deep connection during a walk in nature, or the revealing insight that emerges in meditation's silence. Rumi reminds us, what you are seeking is also seeking you. This mutual search reveals itself through meaningful synchronicities, deep dreams, and moments of unexpected grace. Regular contemplative prayer practice, combined with reading sacred texts and participating in meaningful rituals, creates fertile ground for these transformative encounters. The true challenge and greatest reward of this journey is keeping spiritual awareness alive amid daily demands. It's not just about moments of ecstasy or revelation, but bringing the sacred presence to every act, every encounter, every challenge. As mystics have always taught, true spirituality doesn't separate us from the world, but allows us to inhabit it with greater depth and purpose. We can begin by establishing small daily rituals, a moment of gratitude upon waking, a prayer before meals, an examination of conscience before sleep, that help us maintain this connection alive and pulsating. As we conclude this reflection on our inner journey, remember, self-knowledge is a continuous process built day by day. The ideas we've shared here aren't just abstract concepts, they're practical tools that come to life through small daily actions. A moment of reflection in the morning, a conscious pause during the day, an exercise in introspection before sleep. The path to integrating our shadows and transforming our challenges into learning doesn't need to be dramatic. It can begin with simple gestures, keeping a journal, practicing self-observation without judgment, or dedicating a few daily minutes to meditation or prayer. As Jung taught us, it's in consistent small changes that we find the greatest transformations. If these reflections resonated with you, I invite you to take the next step. Subscribe to the channel to continue exploring these fundamental themes about personal and spiritual development together. Enable notifications so you won't miss our next encounters, where we'll dive even deeper into this fascinating journey of self-discovery.